So, why do I often present laziness as an emotion rather than a personality trait? At the beginning of my book, I compare the emotion of laziness to our emotion of fear. Now, fear, we don't really consider to be a fixed personality trait. We tend to think of fear as more of a transient state based on stimuli from our environment. Now, the emotion of fear is controlled by a small brain structure called the amygdala. But you see, in 2018, biopsychology researcher Caroline Schluter examined patients who experienced the emotion of laziness more frequently and found that they had larger, more active amygdalae. So it seems that our amygdala governs both our emotion of fear and our emotion of laziness. So why is it then that we would think of fear as a transient state based on interactions with our immediate environment, and yet we think of laziness as some sort of fixed personality trait? We evolved both the emotions of laziness and fear to protect us against threats in our environment. Laziness is an emotion that we evolved to protect us against the dangers of wasting energy. Throughout our evolutionary history, conserving energy was of utmost importance. It took up a lot of energy to find food, and if we couldn't find food, well, we died. So our nervous system has made sure that we only expend energy when it's justifiable for some underlying biological need, when it's going to help in the propagation or replication of our genes. But if we considered some form of activity, maybe a run around the block, maybe lifting some weights, and our nervous system can't connect that activity with an underlying biological motive of survival, food, sex, connection, or status, then it produces this emotion of laziness and preemptive fatigue to protect us, to make sure that we have enough energy for vital tasks. And that's a transient state. That's an emotion based on our immediate environment. It's not a fixed character trait. Beyond the world of fitness, if we think of children in school, often children are labelled or discarded as being lazy kids. But when we start to think of laziness as a transient state, we realise that that child is just responding with an emotion to the stimuli in their immediate environment. And then when we realise that it's actually up to us as teachers and parents to reconstruct their immediate environments to stimulate the nervous system so that it doesn't produce the emotion of laziness and instead creates an expectation of neurological reward, and the children will be engaged in whichever activity they're meant to be engaged in. If you like this video and want to learn more about what actually makes us exercise, then please like and subscribe.